welcome to Community Connections. This is Gloria Gross from Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, filling in for Marnie today. We have some wonderful guests here today that we're going to have a lot of events that we're going to be talking about and things that are going on in our area, which is always so much fun. And our first one is Colleen. She is with the Prescott Valley Library, and she loves to work with the teens, the young adult library assistant, in fact, and she has a lot of craft things going on, so we want her to share with us. Colleen, welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you and have you here today. Tell us what is going on in the craft area for the library.
Well, when it comes to crafts, we've got all kinds of things going on. Specifically on Thursday afternoons from 3 to 4 o'clock, we do have a crafternoon program, and it's been a lot of fun. Lots of variety of people coming in and working on different projects. It actually started back in last summer when we were preparing for another program called our LARP event. It's live action role play, and there's lots of props and things to prepare. And I kept having teens coming in asking, can I help? Can I help? And I didn't have any, when you delegate crafting, it's kind of tricky. So I started creating opportunities for people to actually help with certain props and things for programs. And one of the week before our LARP event, I had about a dozen teens that came in, and they were helping us paint cuffs for costumes and braiding yarn for belts and making all kinds of armor and different things, and it was a lot of fun. So so after September, after school started and everything, we implemented a crafternoon on Thursdays. So it's been a lot of fun having people come in. And during October, we worked on costume design. And this month, of course, we're doing Valentine's. It's a little cliche, but it's been a lot of fun having people come in and just get crafty.
Now, is there an age limit on these kids?
So it is specifically for teenagers. So it's we have had a few adults pop in hoping that they could participate, and I have had to inform them that it's a teen program.
Oh, bummer. I can't come over then, Colleen.
Well, actually, there's been such an interest from some of the adults that the adult department is actually considering starting their own crafternoon as well. So you can keep a lookout for that.
I will.
Yeah.
I love crafty stuff.
It's a lot of fun. And so it is for 12 to 18-year-olds specifically.
Okay. So the kids then come over after school, and then they can hang out for an hour. And I know there's a lot of kids that come over and just hang out at the library anyway.
It's true. So I've found that the less structure, the better when it comes to crafternoon. I used to have very specific projects, and people just weren't really interested in coming to do a specific glitter project or whatever. So I started having larger projects that people could just participate in, and then also the art room is always full of supplies that people can use for whatever project might come up. So actually the room, not even just during crafternoon, the art room in the teen department gets used frequently after school for art projects, for fun, but also for school projects. In fact, a couple weeks ago we had a couple of teens come in, and they wanted to create the largest origami balloon as far as Guinness Book of World Records. And they didn't really do it specifically with the actual Guinness books, but they did. Technically, it was the largest, and we were able to use an electric bike pump to blow it up, and it ended up being pretty large. But it's always so fun to see, to have this space available for people to just be creative.
Oh, yeah. And I understand that you teach sewing over there, too. That is so important because our schools don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So we have 2 sewing machines that are available. Currently, they're located in our digital media lab, and they're available to check out. If we do request, if you're not sure how to use a sewing machine, we request that you make an appointment with someone to just kind of get the layover of how the machine works and how to troubleshoot and things like that. But if you know how to use a sewing machine and you want to come to the library and use it, that's available for people. As far as sewing classes go, we're going to be doing a sewing series this spring.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if it's going to be once a week for a few weeks or if it's going to be a series of 3 days. But we'll just start with some basics and have a project created at the end of that. So I'm looking forward to that because I love to sew and make costumes and things.
I do too. I remember making my first apron in home ec when I was junior high.
Yeah. I used to make Barbie clothes.
Yes. I have a granddaughter that she loves to make her own Barbie clothes, which is something that she picked up because she did have home ec in school, and she just kind of picked it up and like, okay, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
But it is so good to be able to teach the kids things like that. Absolutely. You'll have to spread the word that Prescott Valley Days, our theme for Prescott Valley Days is a fantasy of Festival of Fantasy.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be all kinds of fantasies. If they want to do, they can do Star Wars. They can do all kinds of different costumes and be in the parade and just come and have a great time. And the whole weekend is going to be that way.
That's fun.
Saturday, we're going to have so many things going on with a fantasy accent to it.
Cool.
So it's going to be really neat. So what else do you have going on over there for crafts?
So for crafts, well, we also have other artful things too. So Crafternoon was designed specifically for people to kind of come and go as they please. On Tuesdays, the first and third Tuesday of the month, we actually have a specific art club that I've started.
Okay.
So we have some artists that come in, and right now we're working on a mural in the art room, and I'm really excited about getting that moving along. It's a cool dragon image that we've created.
Oh, neat.
And then through that, we also have had a couple different visitors come to the art club, some local artists that have come and spoken with our group, and it's just been a lot of fun. And it's been a small group, but the teens are really, we live in a really creative community, and it's really been amazing of how many artists have come forward and been able to display their art and create stuff too. And we have about once a month, I switch it out, but it's a teen art showcase is also available for young artists. They can come and turn in their artwork and have it displayed, and it's been really amazing to see the incredible skill that there is amongst the young people here.
Wow. Now, do you teach some art then? If people kids want to come in and learn how to paint or in that area, you teach that too?
So we do, every once in a while we'll do different workshops. What we found to be the most successful really is the teens want a little freedom when it comes to being creative. And so we have had some specific workshops that have been a lot of fun. Usually during the summer reading program is when we have the most success for focused art programs. But for the most part in the teen department right now, when it comes to painting and things, that's going on all the time. So I don't even need to do a class for it. But we do, the sewing is what is going to be coming up as far as a structured art class.
Wow, that's amazing, and that is so good to know about our library. When people think of libraries, they think of, oh, we're just going to go read a book. That's not so with our library.
No.
Our library is very interactive with our kids, and that is such an important thing in our area. And like you said, our area is, our community is so artsy anyway. And you can see that with all the sculptures and everything we have around, and the paintings and everything. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have that opportunity for them. So I hope the word will get out and you'll get more kids.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So that'd be awesome. We're so glad you're here today, Colleen.
Thank you.
You are the Young Adult Library Assistant. And if you have any questions, you need to go over and talk to Colleen and come over, especially on Thursdays and Fridays, and visit with her. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
Still talking to your friend?
It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Welcome back to Community Connections. This is Gloria Gross, today filling in for Marnie. We are just so excited to have our next guest, another wonderful person that comes from Parks and Rec today, Isabella Tuning. She's with the Arts and Culture. She's the Arts and Culture Coordinator. I was going to try to get that right, Isabella.
It's a hard one. Hi.
And she is really involved in arts and crafts and everything going on for Parks and Rec, and there's so much going on.
Yes,
Tell us what's happening, Isabella.
So we've got so many events always coming up with Parks and Recreation, but the two that we really wanted to kind of feature today are Youth Arts Month and Extravaganza. So
Awesome.
coming up in March, we have our Youth Arts Month, and that's for the entire month of March. It's actually a nationally recognized arts month.
that.
Yeah,
That's
it's really wonderful. So what we do to participate is we open up the Civic Building and the Public Library for an art showcase for K through 12
okay.
art. Yeah, so
Nice.
all of our students from HUSD and from some of our charter schools and even some of our homeschooled students can come and showcase their artwork,
very
which is really,
good.
really wonderful. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, so the grand opening for that is going to be on March 4th.
March 4th,
That's
write
actually
that
a
down.
Wednesday. Yes, so Wednesday, March 4th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. is the official grand opening. We're going to have the HUSD Combined Orchestra performing.
that'll be
Here at the
nice.
Civic Building. And then, of course, there's going to be art over at the library as well. So we ask that if you can come to the opening, go ahead and walk around the library and then come over to the Civic Building and see the art here. The K through 8 art will be showcased at the Civic Building, and that's where the orchestra will be performing as well on the 3rd floor. And then the high school art, 9th through 12th grade, will be showcased at the library this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so super exciting.
And so what time is the orchestra going to be playing then?
So they're going to be playing from 5:30 to 6:30.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Yeah,
we'll have
for a
them
whole
for
hour.
a first hour of the event,
Nice.
and then we're going to hand out awards. So that's the other great part
Oh.
about this is that we actually do give monetary awards back to the schools from the winning students. So it's really our way of showing our support for the arts and for all of our art teachers, our music teachers, our art teachers, and those kinds of things. Yeah.
And I'm sure the school gets behind this
Yes.
and really pushes it to
Yes.
the kids so they will get involved.
Yes.
Do you know how many participants you have yet? Or is
So
it
we're
just
working
growing?
with 10 schools, plus the art club from the library is actually facilitating some of our homeschoolers and some of our students who
Nice.
don't have art programs in their schools. So 11 total groups participating, and each group is going to be showcasing about 30 students' work.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so over 300 students will be able to show their art, which is awesome for the kids. They just love it.
And then it'll just be hung all over the Civic Center and the library then?
Yep, all over the library walls. We'll have 2D and 3D. You won't be able to miss it. It's going to be covering the Civic Center and the library. Yeah.
And how long will it stay there?
So it's going to stay up, yeah, exactly, the
month of
entire month of March, all the way through the first weekend of April, which actually rolls right into our Extravaganza event.
Of course.
That's going to be the first Saturday in April. So most people have come before or know about Extravaganza,
yes.
but it's a super fun family event. Basically, we have our egg hunt at noon, but from 9 to noon, we have all sorts of activities for the whole family. We have a petting zoo, we have the inflatables, the bouncy houses, we have performances going on, all sorts of fun things.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
My grandkids used to do that when they were little, and now that they're grown up and teenagers, like, not going to do that.
Not anymore.
So it's fun just
Yeah.
to come and watch the kids, because you have
Oh, yeah.
you have it for the little kids, so
Yes.
they can get some eggs. They don't get trampled by the big kids, which
Yes.
is so nice.
We split it up by age groups, so the bigger kids definitely get a little more competitive and run a little faster. So we have it for the younger kids starting at noon, and then they go from there, get a little older and older up from there. Yeah.
It is so nice. That's, our town does so many wonderful things, and Parks and Rec has so many wonderful things going on. But this extravaganza is, I think, one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a
because
wonderful event.
It goes to the little tiny kids all the way up to the bigger kids,
Yes.
if they choose to participate, which, when it gets to the teenagers, they're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, maybe not the egg hunt, but there are
Yes.
other activities,
Oh,
the
yes,
bouncy
the
house,
bounce.
things
Oh,
like that
yes,
for the
yes.
older kids. Yeah.
And they love that kind of stuff.
Yep, and there's going to be
great.
food vendors and things like that.
nice.
So there's really something for everyone. A free
Yeah.
event, of course, and
Free.
it's here at the Civic Center.
Yeah.
Always completely free to the families. Yeah.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that's one of my favorite events because it is so family oriented. oriented.
It is.
And you want everybody to come out and
Yes.
participate and have a good time. And we pray for good weather, so it's
Always.
not rainy
Yep.
or anything. But
Yep.
we do that for every event we do, don't we, Isabella?
Yes. So that will be April 4th this year, the first Saturday in April.
Wow.
And the other great thing is that actually the Youth Arts Month showcase, it will still be up in the Civic
okay.
Center and the library during Extravaganza. So it's just
Nice.
another really fun thing to do with your family when you come to Extravaganza. Go ahead and walk around and see all the art.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. And I had mentioned earlier about the art outside that we have, the statues and everything.
Yes,
It's
the art
so
at the center.
impressive
Yes.
that we have. And it's awesome to see these kids take the next step and get into the arts and start painting. And
Yes.
do you have anybody that does like sculptures and anything like that? Or is it just basically painting right now?
For the students, we have 3D as well, so some
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what you were
ceramics
talking
and
about, the
things like
3D.
that. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
really
That's
great.
great.
So the teachers, they provide as many mediums as they can to these kids, and that's another one of the reasons why we want to support the schools and the teachers and get some money back into those programs.
Right.
They need the funding to be able to do those things.
They
yeah.
do. It's such a great way to do it, too.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's beneficial to everybody,
Yes.
not only the students, but our community as well.
Yes.
Because we do have so much talent in this, in our
Definitely.
community. It just amazes me.
Definitely.
Anything else that you want to tell us about this event?
Just make sure if you can't make it out to the opening on March 4th, come any time that the Civic Building and the library are open the entire month of March. It means so much to these kids to showcase
yeah.
their work. So the more people that come and see it, the better. And then come out to our extravaganza. It's the 17th annual extravaganza on April 4th, and it's 9 a.m. to noon.
That is
Totally
gonna be
free.
Totally free. I love that part. It's totally free. Well,
Yep.
thank you so much for being here, Isabella.
Thank you for having me.
You're a wonderful addition to our arts and culture.
Thank you.
Arts and culture coordinator.
Yeah.
That is just a tongue twister
mouthful.
there. It is a mouthful, but thank you for being
you.
there and supporting our kids, because this is so important to our area.
Thanks.
To have somebody that is passionate
Yes.
about arts and culture and,
Yeah.
and get the word out there for our kids. So,
Definitely.
thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
We will look forward to having you back on again. We are going to take a short break, and we will be right back.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Community Connection. This is Gloria Gross filling in for Marnie today. We have some wonderful guests coming on with the Alzheimer's Association, and I was talking to the ladies, just a little bit before, and they're wonderful. This is such kind of emotional thing for me because my mom had Alzheimer's and passed away with complications from Alzheimer's, and my sister has dementia. So, I'm very aware of what happens and what goes on, but it's so good to have you here and to know that there's an organization that helps those of us that need it, along with our family. Leslie Jenkins is a regional director for the Alzheimer's Association here in our area, and Kathy Marzik is a volunteer.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. I love that, Leslie.
Yes, very much so.
All right.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.
This is a wonderful opportunity because, as you know, with dementia and Alzheimer's, it's one of those diseases that many can feel very alone and isolated and have nowhere to turn or think that they have nowhere to turn. And the Alzheimer's Association has actually been here in our community for close to 20 years, really.
Wow.
But we're one of those, and I don't want us to be a best-kept secret. We're not.
Yeah.
And so we're doing our best to inform and engage individual families, friends, people who really want to learn about the disease. One way that we do that is through our 1-800 number. This is a 24/7 helpline that is available to communicate, to answer questions, to help provide that support that many people feel that they don't have. We tell people, call them before you even call our office, because they're available, at 5 o'clock or 5:30 when our offices have closed, that they're there to provide that level of support. They are master level clinicians and social workers that can help to mediate that question. You may come in with one question, but they know how to ask those probing questions to get a little bit more information and really guide you in your efforts of support. So we always encourage people to contact our 1-800 number for immediate guidance. And we're always wanting to inform, educate, help people to understand the disease and prepare for what's to come. And one of the ways that we do that is by community educations that are facilitated by community volunteers such as Kathy. We are very involved and very fortunate to have a wonderful partnership with the Prescott Valley Library. And so we're gearing up for our community educations that we'll be doing during the month of February, March, April, and May. And so Kathy is our educator who will be spearheading that or facilitating those. And so we're just here to get the word out and encourage people to be able to attend, to get information. It's really about that news you can use. And that's what the Alzheimer's Association is about, and helping people so that they don't feel so daunting, that it's a daunting disease or it's an overwhelming piece, that there is information and support out there for them. So Kathy will start. I think your first one is February 20th.
And they are usually the third Thursday of the month at 5:30 in the evening. The February 20th presentation will be the 10 warning signs.
Okay.
That one's usually very well attended because people in the community, we do have a lot of retirees, are very interested. They may have family members, loved ones, friends, that they see things that are not normal. And they're questioning it. So that one's usually very well attended, and we go through the 10 warning signs, looking for those things that are not a normal part of aging. And it's really important for people to, when they see these signs, start thinking, okay, do we need to get some medical intervention here? What kinds of help are we going to need? Is it even a dementia? There are a lot of medical conditions out there that will mask as a dementia. So it's really important to get them diagnosed appropriately so they can get the help they need. The programs we offer, like these presentations, we also have the support group and that helpline. What's important for people to know is they are free.
Nice.
That's a 4-letter word we all love.
We love that word.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's great.
Supported by our walk that will be coming up in the fall. More information to come, but most definitely they are, and that's very important. I'm glad that she brought that up, that our programs and services are free, and to know that you have someone that's available at 2 o'clock in the morning, midnight, 10 o'clock, Many times we hear from people who, the loved one of someone who has the disease, I can't talk right now, because if they hear me talking, they'll be upset. You can wait
okay.
until they're asleep. It doesn't matter what time that you talk or you call, that you have that support. And so it's really about encouraging people to quite frankly, embrace the disease, accept what's to come, and be proactive in providing that support. Kathy is phenomenal in her experience because she has had it in her family.
My family has, unfortunately, a very strong history. My mother passed away from it a few years ago. Her brother is in a memory care unit now. Their mother and her 3 siblings.
Oh, wow.
On my father's side, there were, not my father, but 3 out of 8 siblings. So I know the risk, plus being a woman, my risk is up there. And it's part of my background as a retired training and development manager to give back to the community, to educate people. I can't tell you how many times when I do these presentations or in the support group, people will come in and say, you know, if it weren't for the library, I wouldn't know you were here.
Yeah.
And that's really helpful and speaks
Definitely.
big time to how involved the library is in the community. And they are a great partner to help us get the word out.
Definitely.
And you said the first class is February 20th. And how many classes are there?
There's
Once a month.
4. Once a month.
Once a month, okay.
February 20th. The next one would be March 19th, I believe. The April date right now is the 16th. That may change. And then I think the last one is May 14th.
And they're all different topics.
Yeah. And the library does a great job of marketing, getting the word out when they are. And you don't have to register. You can just come in at 5:30 that day, and I will be here.
Okay. Before our time runs out, and we're going to have you back on to talk some more, give me that 800 number in case somebody wants it real quick.
It's 1-800-272-3900.
Okay. So the chamber has that number. If anybody does call and say, you know, I didn't get that number. What was it? And if you don't have local TV, you can't see this program. You know, we have it at the office, and we have this information on the classes that we will be happy to share with you. So,
or go to alz.org, our website. That'll have it for you, too.
all right. Thank you so much, ladies. We'll look forward to having you on again. We will be back another day. Thank you.